Hi everyone.
Hi, Monu.
Hi,
Hi.
Mama.
Hello.
Hi, Monica. Good
Hi.
morning.
Thank you. Good evening to you. Uh, give me a minute. Let's wait for another moment if anyone else can join and we can get started. Can you confirm if you all can see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we are seeing.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. So, if I hope you all either attended the last orientation session live or at least watched the recording. If you haven't done so, I highly recommend that you go back and watch the orientation session recording because we explored the foundations of this program in the session. But anyway, today let's do a quick refresher of what we spoke about. So, we spoke about Ayurveda as a way of living in harmony with nature, not as rules or treatments or medicines that Ayurveda is often most popular for, but as a way of living in alignment with nature's rhythms. We spoke about natural cycles that exist both outside us and within us. Outside us, we have these rhythms of day and night, the sun and moon, and the changing seasons. And within us, we have the rhythms of digestion and rest, of activity and recovery. And when we can align our internal rhythms with nature's rhythms, our body functions optimally. And when we stay out of sync for too long, the body slowly moves into dysregulation. And that affects digestion, sleep, hormones, energy levels, and even mental health. So, in Ayurveda, health is nothing but rhythm, harmony, and regulation, and disease is long term dysregulation. And if you notice, none of the habits that we will be incorporating in this program are related to diet or supplements. To be honest, diet is secondary. In this program, we are addressing the basics of health, the foundations that most of us ignore and then wonder why staying healthy feels so difficult. And we also spoke about why habits matter, right? Although our mind loves freedom, our body loves familiarity. Your bodily functions thrive in predictable rhythms, rhythms that signal safety to the body. And we discussed how this sense of safety is so important for lasting and sustainable change. And that's why extreme workouts or intense fasting or sudden lifestyle changes often backfire, because the body doesn't change when it feels pushed, it changes when it feels safe enough to let go. It changes when it feels safe enough to let go. And this is where we clarified an important shift in the program. This is not a discipline based approach, this is an attunement based approach. You're not forcing habits onto the body, you're listening to the body and allowing habits to arise from your inner understanding. Your body already knows what it needs, and this program simply helps you listen to your body again. Long term health does not come from rigid rules, it comes from ongoing attunement to your body. Because think about it, what supports you today might not support you forever. Today, waking up at 4 a.m. might feel energizing and supportive to you. But say 2 years later, you may have a different lifestyle, different responsibilities. You may have young children waking up at night or a demanding job with late meetings. If you force yourself to still wake up at 4 a.m. simply because it once worked for you, the body experiences it as strain, and you're now depleting your body. It's not working out for you anymore. So that's why Ayurveda never asks us to follow any fixed rules blindly. It's important to stay in constant conversation with your body. Health is really not about doing the same thing forever. It's about knowing when to continue and when to adapt. Let me repeat it. Health is not about blindly following practices or rules. It's about knowing when to adapt. And that sensitivity and that inner understanding is what we're trying to cultivate here. Let's do a quick weekly check in before we move forward. I invite any of you to share your experience doing the presence pause last week. You can raise your hand if you're interested to do so. But in general, I would invite all of you to take a moment and reflect on the presence pause. If you've done it last week, how often did you find yourself returning to the presence pause? And when did you naturally remember to do it? And how did it feel when you pause? Did it feel grounding or neutral or difficult or unfamiliar? All experiences are welcome. All experiences are welcome. And there is no right answer here. I just invite you all to reflect on these questions. And if anyone hasn't been able to introduce this presence pause yet, I recommend you to do so. It's always available to you whenever you choose to return to it. And it only takes a moment. And if it feels like I'm asking too much, to pause for a moment in a day, remember that your body is like this vehicle through which you experience life, right? And all vehicles do need maintenance, they need attention and servicing. Think about Formula One racers, for example, where speed is really the most important thing in that sport. Yet they pause in the middle of race to check the vehicle, replace the tires, recalibrate. So they pause during the race. So I hope you can pause for yourself too. Even for a minute, it counts. Because this pause really strengthens the mind body connection. What we're really hoping to strengthen in this program is this mind body connection, and this builds the foundation for healthy habits. And that brings us to our first habit. And this habit really further strengthens that mind body connection. So we're going to use a tool that we have that is influencing both our body and mind. So this tool really helps us control both our body and mind. It's a bridge between our body and mind. Can anyone take a guess as to what it is? And it's right under your nose. It's right under your nose. It's your breath. Let's talk about the power of breath. Your breath is the only function in your body that is both automatic and accessible. It's both automatic, as in it's involuntary, like your heartbeat, your digestion, your hormones, or your immune responses. All of these are involuntary functions that you don't directly control. But your breath is different. It's involuntary, but it also is available to your control. Think of it like this background music playing in your life, and it's been playing right from the very first moment, day one. And you don't consciously pay attention to it, but I'm asking you to recognize that you actually have the knobs to control it. And this is so powerful. I'll tell you why. Because this knob of your breath, this controls both the body and mind. It has two-way control. And the state of your mind impacts your body. If you observe, like, your state of your mind has a direct impact on what's happening in your body, and the state of your body impacts your mind, right? And when you think about it, breath is the bridge between both of these. Your breath reflects what's happening in your body and your mind. And there are really two primary modes that we operate in. You have survival mode versus safety mode. We spoke about this a little bit in the last session. Let's say your mind is anxious or stressed or angry or excited, it's feeling a lot of emotion. Your breath tends to be shallow, short, or fast in this case. And in your body, you can see that the heart rate increases, the oxygen delivery to your cells becomes less efficient, your muscles tense, your digestion slows down, and your body prepares for action. Your body prioritizes protection. Whereas when your mind is relaxed or calm, your breath is deep, it's long, it's slow, and your heart rate settles down, your oxygen delivery to the cells becomes more efficient, your muscles soften, your digestion improves, and your mind becomes clear. Your body prioritizes healing. Your body prioritizes healing. So your breath instantly shows you what state you're in, and your breath can also take commands. Think of it like a touch screen, right? Information is constantly appearing on it. Your stress or your rush or your emotions or your sense of safety. You can read the screen through your breath, but you can also interact with it. So, simply by taking a deep breath, you're changing your body's mode from survival to safety. Simply by taking charge of your breath, you're changing what's happening in your body and mind. How powerful is that? And many times, like we overthink. I don't know if anyone's an overthinker here. I'm telling you, I am. We perceive danger when there is no real threat, right? Unconsciously. And a simple conscious guide to your breath, like you take a deep breath and you're out of that state. How powerful is that? So breath is really this gateway between your unconscious patterns and conscious choice. It's a gateway between stress and regulation. And this is why most yogic schools actually begin with breath. The first thing they teach you is how to breathe. Because if you cannot tame your breath, if you do not learn how to breathe properly, you can never train your mind. So breath is that gateway. And let me tell you an Ayurvedic perspective on why breath is super important. Uh, le- so in Ayurveda, breath is the main way we receive prana into our body. Prana is this, it's called, there is no exact translation to what prana is in English, but loosely it can be understood as the life force. Okay, it's the energy that animates the body and mind. It governs all the functions in your body, from movement to digestion to circulation and awareness, everything. And there are two main ways you get prana in your body. One is the breath, the second is food or anything you intake through your mouth. And the most direct way is your breath. It's the main carrier of prana. And when your breath is, say, shallow or rushed or not deep, your prana becomes depleted instantly. Your circulation becomes uneven, your digestion weakens, your tissues receive less nourishment, your cellular repair decreases, your immune responses weaken. So it has downstream an effect on your all of your bodily functions. And disturbed breath means disturbed energy flow. That leads to loss of coordination according to Ayurveda. And all of your body functions actually work in an internal rhythm. It's called the circadian rhythm. Your hormonal functions are closely tied to a rhythm, and this rhythm is directly impacted by your breath. So this is how important breath is. It's not just to take in oxygen, it governs everything in the body. Okay. So what we're going to do is, this is our awareness week for this habit. This week, we are not trying to change anything. We're not trying to regulate our breath. We're simply observing our breath. What we're going to do is simply notice your breath at different moments in the day. Whenever you remember, you don't need to set an alarm or a notification for it. Just remember, if you remember, just observe your breath for like 3 to 5 seconds. And I'll tell you how to do it. Think of it like this, background song that's always playing, and you're simply paying attention to it. So in different moments in your day, when you're walking or talking or cooking or doing anything, when you remember, you can start paying attention to your breath. And these are two prompts that you can guide your attention to. Again, your awareness doesn't have to be limited by these two prompts, but you can observe how the pace of your breath is, how fast or slow it is, sorry, and then the depth of your breath. How shallow or deep is it? Is it coming from your chest or your belly? And you don't need to answer these questions to yourself. All you need to do is have these questions direct your attention. Just observe the pace of your breath and the depth of your breath, and allow it to be exactly what it is. You don't have to make it more deeper, you don't have to change it. Just notice. Notice how your breath is at different moments in the day. And remember that there is no right breath or wrong breath. You don't have to want to fix anything, because your breath is not a problem to solve. It's an information to receive. It's reflecting the state of your body and mind. So listen to it. And you might discover oftentimes that your breath is fast, or it's mostly in the chest, it's not deep, unless you're resting. And at times of stress, your breath becomes more shallow and more faster. Okay. And do not make this an overwhelming practice. I'm not asking you to create more time for this or giving you another task to do, because think of it as something that's always happening, and you're simply paying attention to it. When you're walking or working or cooking or worrying or rushing or resting, you simply have to return your attention for 5 seconds in your day. And you can do it multiple times whenever you remember. And do not take a break to notice your breath. No sitting aside saying, okay, I'm going to sit down and notice my breath. Notice it in the middle of doing things, like when you're walking or doing something. You're not stepping away from life to practice this. You're learning how to come back to yourself, to pay attention to yourself while life is happening, to stay connected to yourself amidst all the chaos of the day. Okay, and that's going to be important. Any questions? If not, I'll let you go. I want to remind you the two takeaways from today. Firstly, continue your presence pause. And once in a while, you can focus on your breath. You can focus on the pace and the depth of your breath. And do not answer yourself like my breath is fast or slow. Do not focus on how it is. Just observe it, notice it, and stay with it. And next week, we will learn a quick regulation technique for the breath and a simple breath work practice you can optionally include. All right. Thank you all for joining. See you all next week. Thank you.